what do you do when someone criticizes you? It could be a real deep criticism, or it could just be something like, don't park your car there. Do you find yourself going one of two routes? I sometimes do this. They call it fight or flight. One of them is to run away from that person and say, they're so critical, I don't want to be around them. The other is to fight, like, oh yeah, well, you're like this too. And instead of receiving the criticism that you could learn from and grow from, instead there becomes a brokenness of relationship, whether it's through your own returning of anger. Somebody emailed me recently, and it was a bit of a critical email. And my first response was to fight back and say, oh yeah, well, I can't believe you think that because you're like this. And it was taking in the wrong direction. So instead, I wrote back kind of a nice letter. I understand where you're coming from. That makes sense. And thank you for bringing that to my attention. This person wrote me back and said, I'm in tears. I thought you were going to be all angry at me. And it really changed my perspective on some things. So thank you so much. You see, that fight or flight, that criticize back or run from that, it's going to destroy relationships. You'll look back on your life and you'll have a trail of people that you've broken relationships with over something that didn't need to be broken. So be cautious, be careful, and look to love rather than to divide.